Welcome to Model Horse Tack School. My name is Carrie, and today, well, I didn't really feel like going to make tack. I got up and I went to a hobby store, a craft store, to buy stuff. Basically, you look at clearance and then replenish supplies that need to be replenished. I thought I'd go over some of the stuff that I found, and this time I went to Michael's. For me, that's a bit of a hike in the city. I'm not in the city, but it was definitely fun walking all of the aisles and looking for stuff that, well, there's just so much. I think I spent over an hour just walking around. I did get some video of it, but this particular camera apparently can't hear me talking, so I have to do a voiceover. So, kind of went through all the framing areas and nothing there, of course. But I got back into the clearance, and I'm also looking to the future. So sometimes I buy things saying, yeah, sometime I will need that. And one of the things that they had were these paints, and $5 for these huge tubes. Now, I don't paint models, but I do paint for dioramas the props and the ground that the horses walk on. And so the yellow, green, and blue seemed, like something like I do want to do get a cardboard and put this in clouds and whatever. But that's in the way in the future. I don't have time for that right now. But anyways. They were more than half price, $5 each for these huge tubes. I'm really happy. I threw away all my paint when I moved. It was old. It was old. Old paint. And then there was this palette, which because it's a locking palette, so you paints. Right, and then you can close it up, and you can reuse the paints if they stay, if they aren't exposed to air. And I thought that was pretty cool, especially because it was only $15, so it's down to from $37, and so that's good for my paints. Now, because I threw away all my paint, I also threw away the container that the paint was in, so I can't get this in, but it's a box with a lid. It's a box with a lid, and it's big enough to put my paints in. Not all of them are going to be huge like this, and some will be bottles instead of tubes, but I like that it's transparent. It locks. It's snackable. So there we go. And now I can put that someplace until I'm ready. Someplace out of the heat. Alright, as far as other chemicals, I did find it amazing that two of these was only like 50 cents more than just buying one. It was like get a 2-for-1 deal. And I use this fabric a lot. Anything that frays, I use this. So I'm replenishing my supply. So I don't know if I can use this or not, but I'm going to give it a try. It doesn't fray, which is really nice. Nice and fuzzy. Might be able to use it for a saddle blanket. I don't know. And it was $3. So not sure yet what I'm going to use that on. It's a funky color. Faux fur, but it's a nice non-fray. Doesn't stretch too much. I mean, there's a little bias stretch, which is not unusual, but it's I don't know, I touched it and I said I have to find something to do with it, so we'll figure it out. Okay, when you show the horses need hoof tags with identifying information, that's live show. Mine were all gone. Either I threw them away or I sold them or gave them to Goodwill. I don't even remember, but these are good. So I'm not going to show that many, so it's more than enough. Probably start with the smaller ones and move up. So they had my totes, and I'm outgrowing. I think my gold I've got in other little boxes, but I'm constantly outgrown because I buy stuff that I shouldn't. But this is gonna help me get organized since I'm pulling out my stuff more often than I did before. I used to make the same saddle over and over again to sell, and now I'm trying to, you know, do my whole entire range. So that means I'm gonna need to have access to my whole entire range of findings. Let's see what we got here. So I decided it's time to sign my saddles, and my silver Sharpie went out. I'm going to try both of these. This is Artist Loft and that Sharpie, and also try this gel pen and see what works best for signing my saddles before I sell them, because I'll be selling a lot of the stuff that I make. I don't need it. And of course, Sharpie, brown Sharpie renewal. Black is easy to find. Brown, you have to go to some place like Staples or Office Max, or in this case Michael's, and buy them independently. All right, all of my clay. It got to be several years old. When it gets to be several years old, yeah, it's just time to renew it. So I got a black and a white. Now this was not the super Sculpey, it's just Sculpey 3. I don't need any super anything. So I want to make buttons basically for the doll clothes that I will probably need to make. So I got white and black because I figure pants, shirts, right? So when I go to make buttons, I'll show you what I'm doing on that. Okay, elastic. So I got this for girths for English saddles, and it's more ribbed than the stuff I have now. The stuff I have now, and I only have it in black, is not as, I don't know, the ridges aren't as obvious. I kind of like it a little more obvious. I think it looks more like a web girth. Now I really liked this for leg wraps. It's better than what I'm using now, and so I figure I can make quite a few leg wraps with that, maybe put leather covering on it. So yeah, I really like that. It didn't come in white or black. It was brown, tan, or red. And I thought the red would be too hard to match to things, so I got the darkest color. Okay, well, back to pens. So I want to try using these. I want to tool the saddle and then try and pin the indents with these. And I don't know which size is going to be better, but in black. Some I want to try to do for Cirrus Dogstar. He's because I want to do like a black and tan saddle for him, ornate. May not have silver on it, but just an ornate black and tan, and I'd like to try that with this. I've tried inks, but they run. Craft felt. It just looked like fun. I don't know if I can use it, but that would be a cute little saddle pad, wouldn't it? And then parade saddles. Do a parade saddle and then put my pom-poms on it and make it. Yeah, I thought that was neat. This is my favorite color and my favorite style for Western working saddle pads. I mean, even Western show, if I'm just going to put, you know, leather decorations on the side, I like this. It's got a nice texture, it's got nice marbled coloring, and it's such a nice neutral color. So that's what I got. That I didn't have any more, so I had to get that. Alright, in findings. Now I have enough curb chain, but my curb chain is huge compared to this, and it doesn't. It's silver, nickel free, and doesn't say what the size is, so I have no idea what size curb chain this is. It's definitely smaller than what I have, so I'll take it out of the package. And sometimes I just get it not because I need it, but because it's very possible it won't be there the next time, right? Sometimes it's just not there again when you go, and then I'm disappointed. So that's the curb chain, and then here's my current curb chain. so you can kind of see a size difference. So a little bit smaller links. Now usually it's, you know, 4 of these links would make up a curb chain. So this might take 5. But it's far more delicate, especially for like double bridles. The double bridle curb chain really, because there's so much there, really needs to be more delicate. And so that is, that's why I got that, I think. You know, I'll use this still for my Western saddles, Western bridles, but that's good. It's going to be good for like double bridles. Let's see. I definitely stocked up on jump rings. I didn't have any 7mm left. This, I have no idea what sizes they are. They don't tell me. Oh, here we go. 4, 6, and 8. That's good because I'm low on the 4 and the 8. The 6 I'm okay on. Here's more 4mm. So this 4 and 5mm I use a lot for little things like the cinch. When I make this any cinch, whether it's the string or leather, you need those little D's or those little rings to be able to attach things to. These are a good size for that. And I could turn them into D's pretty easily with my pliers. So I use a lot of 4 or 5. And they didn't have anything really smaller. I'm surprised. I'd like to get some 2s. But this is about what they had. And I'm really low on some of these. Now this is kind of one of those, almost an inspiration piece, so I want to make another eventually in the future, far in the future when I hit costumes, because that's going to be a ways away. There's a new dancing Arabian horse saddle. I want to prototype that pattern and make 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever. And so they have these things like this on the pad and also on the fender. So they may be too heavy, I don't know, but they look like they were small enough. And then of course I would cut these little circles off, so I just have the inner circle. But that's what those are for, and I sure hope I get around to doing that. A little bit of bling bling. So I'm thinking I can use these as concho beads. So you're gonna put a straight pin in there, and then use this on not sure yet. I know definitely I could use it on the bling bling on a silver saddle. So, you know, a show saddle. And there's not very many of them. So it's maybe 2 saddles worth, 3 at the most. Because I'll use a 6 per. Yeah, I'll probably get 3, maybe 3 out of this. But it was pretty bling, and I figured I could use them as decorative concho beads on a saddle. I may be wrong, they may be too thick, but I don't know. They were pretty, and I thought maybe, hey, something different. These are also decorative concho beads, and you kind of have to pull back and look. So those are about the, well, they're a little bit thicker than the Rio Rondo ones, but I've used them before, and they definitely work as concho beads. It's just a different look. And then there's a ton of them here, and it just makes you, if everybody's using the same hardware, the saddles all start to look alike as far as I'm concerned. I look at what people make. Proud of a lot of people using my patterns, because I can tell when you used my patterns, by the way. And so I got these just to give my Western saddles a little look a little different. And then the thing that I thought was the find of the century is these. I'm really not sure what they're used for. They're beads, but they're rubber and they're black. And the first thing I thought of is, if let's see, I don't want to open it. Snaffle bit, English bits. This is a bit protector. So you could put it on the horse. I'm not sure how I would attach it to the bit. But let's say, for example, so I could just see how that, it's perfect. It's the perfect freaking size. It's the perfect size. Oh my gosh. So let's take a real look at these. And of course, they had them in other colors, but this bag itself is already Free World Supply, so I had to choose black. But there you go, a little bit thick. I think they're passable. Bit cards. I thought that was a find. So yeah, so that's why I need to put these in a. I need them accessible, so I would get out one of my empties. This one has all my bits in it. And then so like I would have this, and then the bag would be a backup, and that way it's accessible to me. And then I do need to restock, but my restock then can be in another place, and this is what I will work with. But that's pretty much the Free World Supply, which is why I didn't get the red. There was reds and pinks. There's 3 different colors. One of the colors was not appropriate. The other 2 were. I could have got that, but this is all I need. I won't ever need any more than that. Oh, and this one here, look at that. It's got a bite out of it, but man, that's so nice and flat. Ugh, yep. So there you go. That's what I found at Michael's. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video and you want me to make more like this, because I can still go to Tandy Leather, Hobby Lobby, Joann's. Not much at Walmart. I already checked it out, so that's like whatever. But I can go to those other stores, show you what I found, and hopefully I'll get this new camera working with a microphone, so I can just walk around and say yes and no to things, and give you some ideas of what you can use when you're making yours saddles. But I hope you have yourself a really, really good day, and thank you so much for sharing time with me.